Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Keep your books clean. Taking vacations are a lot of fun, and for most people, it's extremely helpful in keeping them refreshed and appreciative of the hard work they put in. So when they get back to work, they can really get after it with the real needed energy. And going on dates with your spouse is super fun, and it's super valuable in maintaining a healthy marriage, which, as we all know, if you're stressing your marriage, work isn't any easier. And going to sporting events and games and stuff like that, that's fun. It takes your mind off work for a bit, which for most people, it actually allows them to focus better on work when that time comes. One can argue that all these events and stuff similar to this do come with an expense that could benefit the business. That's really all that some would need to justify putting it on a business credit card. My belief is stop. This is not a demand. It's simply the way I was taught to look at it, and I understand and respect and appreciate the advice. However, it really does depend on your goals. If you know that you have zero interest in ever wanting to sell your company or get investors or partners or get lines of credit or be able to do things like that, get a loan, well then, having financial credibility to qualify for things, probably not a huge deal for you, then I find it okay. But for those of you that have never had meetings like that before where you have had to show your numbers and have had to make sense of it, fortunately, you may have seen some of these conversations on shows like this, The Profit with Marcus Lemonis, which if you haven't watched is one of my all-time favorite shows. Anybody ever watch this show? Raise your hands if yes. It's a cool show. It's a really cool show. Or Shark Tank. Anybody ever watch either of these shows? Yeah? Now, what does it always come down to? At the end of the day, what does it always come down to? And if the business owner doesn't know it or it's a mess, the deal's dead. What is it? Numbers. It always comes down to numbers. So if I'm looking at your financials as a potential investor or partner in your current location, or let's say helping you open or grow additional locations, which you guys know we've done here with some of you guys, well, I want to know what it takes to run your business. And I want to see if the cash flow is low, the balance sheet's weak, and the numbers aren't on par with what we know is expected in the industry, well, I'm out. Okay? It doesn't take vacations or dinners or sporting games or anything like that to run a studio or gym. That's what it takes for you to have a great life outside of the gym, which, yes, makes an impact, but not the same. The same goes for labor. You as a business owner, if you're an operating owner, meaning you actually do work in your business, well, and by the way, that is like running meetings, right? That's sales calls. That's anything with like saving a customer, retention, obviously running classes, recruiting, interviewing, hiring, firing, bookkeeping, payroll, whatever. I believe it's right to be on the payroll like any person that has that function in the business. If I do want to buy your business or invest in your business, what would happen if you were to go? What would I have to pay in order to make these numbers real and keep the business going, right? Now, if you're a hands-off owner just taking distributions based on profit, that makes sense. If you're not profitable yet, then not getting a paycheck, I can also make sense of that too, obviously. But I believe it is good practice to pay yourself what you'd ordinarily pay yourself if you were an employee to do that job, so that if you did have to replace yourself, you could, okay? So keep the books clean. If you don't have a great bookkeeper or accountant, they're probably just gonna let you, honestly, they're just gonna let you do what you want. So a good financial team will guide you appropriately. Until then, you're about to learn in the next few days, what you should be doing, how you should be looking at these numbers. So if your bookkeeper is not really that good, you can school them a little bit.